Good Monday morning. It's the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum. My co-hosts today are Sparky. Sparky? Oh, there he is. 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. Dale Hellestrave, strolling in a little late. He also wasn't at the ASU banquet last night. Dale Hellestrave, everybody.
I was coming down the 51 this morning. Usually Mondays, Fridays, smooth sailing.
Yeah.
But the 51 was kind of like the Cardinals game yesterday. There wasn't one wreck. There wasn't two wrecks. I think there were three wrecks along the 51.
It was 60 minutes of just utter destruction out there.
All right, so I'm going to get off. I'm going to go to 7th Street. Nope, that ain't working.
Yeah.
Let's come back to 16th Street. It was like the Cardinals game yesterday. I got on the 51, the first probably 3-4 miles, boom, smooth sailing.
You're like, I'm gonna stop and eat.
I'm tied 10 to 10, and then the rest of the game.
Yeah, but you know what, Dale?
Yeah?
You got up today and you're just going back to work like nothing's happened.
I'm here again, and I to the two big ASU guys I know, I sent a little text yesterday when I heard that your boy Sammy Elliott or Sam Levitt or Sammy Two-Tone, whatever you want to call him.
Sammy, not a classy guy, Levitt,
is gone. So
that's disappointing, man.
So I just asked both of you, did you enjoy the 1.5 year run that we had at ASU? Yeah. And hopefully Bruce and I will be alive the next time it happens.
What is it, every 10 years?
Yeah, every 10 years, and I'll be in my 70s.
I'm worried about if I'll be alive to see it. Jeez.
Not a good weekend. Good with suns suck.
No, but I've told you before, Sam Levitt's leaving. I have no doubt about it.
Yeah, but still, whether he's leaving or not, he could have went to the damn banquet.
Show up to the banquet.
Ridiculous.
And everything. It's just I lots of respect for the young kid.
It's a bad, and somebody told him not to go.
Somebody in his camp.
Yes.
Let's be clear about it.
Yeah, he wasn't going.
But you know who his agent is? His brother.
Well, his brother's an idiot too. Then. No, I mean that's just stupid.
But he was at practices leading up to the final game. Why is he even showing up to practices then, and then he doesn't show? Forget about the coaching staff and stuff. This is for your brothers you fought alongside of this year. You've been in a locker room.
Yep.
There's some disagreements in there. Some people don't like each other, but overall, you go to show your support. Jordan Tyson, every game when he was out, was on that sideline cheering on his team, helping them out, talking to receivers after practice. And then you got the one guy who's too cool for school.
Yep.
Can't even show up.
All I know is that when I was in college, you offered me a free meal.
You were there.
I'm going to be there.
Yeah, well, I shouldn't. I'm going to say this in a way that probably is. You weren't making millions of dollars in college, which that's questionable at SMU. So we're not sure if that's accurate.
You don't know how much I was making.
We don't know if that statement is accurate. How was the weekend, Dale?
You know what? It was pretty good. I golfed really well on Friday.
You sent me that text on Friday. I was going into the movies when I saw it.
Yeah.
Saw Five Nights at Freddy 2.
And hold on before.
Well, hold on. I'm going to talk about your 72 first. You shot, what, high 80s earlier in the week, Wednesday?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I shot mid-90s.
Yeah, mid-90s. Yeah. You turned around and shot a 70. There's some erasers going on there?
Well, I'll tell you this. What's so fun about this group at Moon Valley, it's the men's group. We call ourselves the Hackies. And because we got scratch golfers, we got 20 handicaps.
Yeah.
And everything in between.
Yeah,
but just good guys. So, you get together, whatever group you're in, you get paired in, you have fun, and then after you have fun. But you never know what's going to happen. My group, we were a threesome because we ended up having like 35 guys instead of 36. So we had a blind draw. We walked off the 18th hole and we thought, how much am I going to owe?
Yeah.
How much am I going to owe? Well, we got the one we're going to draw an A player.
You sent me the money that you got too. Yeah.
And we drew the A player who helped us on every hole that we needed help, and we ended up winning a little bit of cash. So the cash total is pretty cool, but that just covers my losses for the last couple of weeks. So
you're like the gambler. You only talk about when you win. You don't talk about
right.
when you lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I won $200,000 last night, but you don't know that they lost $500,000
Right.
the night before.
No, we all talk about at the end of the day, because there are some of these anal retentive guys
They're
who
keeping
actually
track.
keep track of how much they win and how much they lose.
It's like my FanDuel account. As long as I'm not depositing money,
yes.
I don't care if I win or I lose.
Well, they say it's within $25, $30, $40 after the year's over with, whether they win or lose. And so,
Yeah, that's-
you know.
If they lose, are they going to go? They're saying we're doing it anymore if I can't win. I'm
Right.
not going to play anymore.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
if you can't afford to lose $50, then don't play.
Yeah, like my FanDuel. I actually loaded up my FanDuel. I think it was FanDuel DraftKings. And I loaded it up. And it says I've lost like several $1,000s more than I've won. And I'm like, really? And that's because I've deposited twice into FanDuel in my life. Twice.
Well, how much
Once
were
when they
those
first
deposited?
started, $100.
Okay.
And then another one. But I've also won a lot where I've run that up, and everything. So I might have lost thousands of dollars, but I'm still working off of the first 200. I'm playing
Right.
with house money now, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
And so, but I looked at it and I was like, oh dear God, I've lost how much money?
Yeah.
It's like $4,000 in losses, and I'm like, there's no way I've lost. And I was like, oh wait a minute, that's actually good. That means I've run it up and then done stupid stuff and lost it down.
Well, it's like I've always said, like the Phil Mickelsons of the world. All of a sudden you hear, oh, they won $1 million on this Super Bowl. Well, they didn't just bet one Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that's
the
the only
problem.
one you heard about.
That's the one they brag
Yeah.
about.
And that was my picture to you guys. I don't know. I think I won $95 or something, and I'm not ever going to send you one that I lose.
Yeah,
40.
exactly. Yeah, you did. I was actually going to look it up here real quick because it had your dollar amount. Since you brought that up, I feel like we could talk about it on air here.
Yeah.
This is what I get. I'm literally like, movie's about to start. We're sitting there.
You're excited about the 5 hands of Solo or whatever.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2. You shot a 72. That's the first thing I see, and I respond and go, nice 72.
Mm-hmm.
And then the movie starts. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll put my phone away. Then later on, I pulled it up, and I just happened to scroll over, zoom in, and scroll over here. Yeah, $49 net. Your entry was $49.
Yeah.
And everything, but your net was $96.85.
After all that was taken out and all
Yes.
that, so you deposit.
I gotta go golf at Moon Valley is what I'm getting at. The men's club I've been in, I've never won that much money in any of those men's clubs.
You end up entering $40 as your entry fee.
Yeah.
That's individual games and team games. And then if you
What's the nine?
like if you have to pay $20, in my mind, in my warped mind, that means I only lost 20.
Yeah. Well, that's not a warped mind. That's exactly what happened.
Right. And if I win $20, I really won 60.
Yes.
And so that's how I make
Yeah.
sense in my mind.
I was gonna text you late too after the movie. I was gonna be like, "You some bitch, you owe me dinner. You're making Bruce pay you buy steak 44 for you."
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that joint chat. Did you start that? I'm just not included, or what? What's going on with that?
Well, we're gonna make it comfortable for us. Then you're gonna have to make it work.
Yeah,
for
just
you.
tell me when it is, and if I can't make it, I can't make it.
I'm thinking maybe January.
I will cancel everything.
I'm thinking maybe January so that no holiday stuff gets in the way.
Well, that's the problem this time of year.
Yes.
Everybody's taking their family there. Corporate companies are having their stuff there. This isn't the time of year to do it. To just go and have a relaxing night, and we had to listen to Dale brag about how Arizona was better than.
I've made it 63 years without eating there. I can make it another month.
It's good though. You're gonna love it.
I can't wait.
It's so good. That's for the Booker table.
Does he have a table?
No,
there?
I don't know if it's specifically his table, but it's right there by the training facility and everything. And
he probably.
I hear
goes
he's in there a lot.
He probably goes in there and has lunch.
He's in there and open specifically for him. I don't know if that's still the case, but as of a couple years ago, I know he was in there a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, so And I don't know if he sits out with the little people or not.
No, he sits
Well, no,
back behind
when you used to go to
doors.
Durant's, all the power people would sit out just in the main lobby room,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So, but I don't know if the new places, if they have like, back rooms and stuff where the
The hoity-toity.
people sit at.
I mean, Bruce Cooper's not going to sit out amongst the unwashed.
That's what I mean. You're like, Bruce Cooper's showing me like, we got the Booker table for you, sir. We're eating next to the chefs and everything. The
The only time Bruce Cooper becomes a man of the people is when it's the Turkey Drive Tuesday.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden he's
Yeah.
all, help the poor. I feel bad, Dale, because I'm watching them go out there. I spilled my Chick-fil-A lemonade all over the front lobby here when you get off the elevator.
Yeah.
And I tried cleaning it up with all the paper towels, and I went through like 100, and I'm like, oh, I'm just wasting because they don't absorb it all. They just soak it in, and then they just drip. So then I'm walking with all these paper towels dripping there. So I was like, I'm just gonna leave. I did the best I could, and I'm just gonna leave it. And then when I see somebody, because we get here before most people do on the floor, and I was like, when I see somebody, I'll mention it to them. Oh man, I could hear people just talking out there. Where's this water coming from? Blah, 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 blah. Then somebody sticks
Was there a leak over the weekend?
Somebody sticks their head in there and goes, "Did you spill something?" And I go, "Yeah, my lemonade." I didn't know where a mop was at or anything, so I couldn't do anything about it.
No.
But now there's poor like kids out there
No,
mopping.
I heard you from the parking garage
here we
going,
go.
underleans, clean up after my mess.
That's what I went. So I feel bad now. This poor kid's taking a vacuum in there and a mop in there. Like, oh my
Jeez.
gosh. Oh, I feel terrible. Yeah.
Well, that's a perfect start to your week after a perfectly unperfect weekend.
Well, in sports-wise, Friday was an interesting day. My HOA phone call went well with the management company there.
You didn't get arrested?
Very receptive. It's hard to get arrested over the phone sometimes. It hasn't happened yet. I'm sure there's a way to do it. That was good there. Then my favorite part of my Friday. My buddy Joe, a classic collision. So here's the story, right? So I'm going to drop my car off down at the Chandler location because I've been talking to the boss that oversees all the Arizona locations and everything. And he's like, look, just take it to the Chandler. So I drove my car 30-something miles out of the way, and I live like 6 miles from the Queen Creek one, 10 miles from the Queen Creek one. So I'm like, all right, dude, I'll take care of it. I don't want to go through the hassle of switching it and doing all this stuff with the insurance company, whatever. So I go, okay, fine. So I call the Queen Creek location to talk to my buddy Pam. And I just need to talk to Pam because Pam is the one that recommended. She rejected the car twice because of mechanical concerns. And so I went to Santa Ana Ford's where the car was towed to get a key, and I dropped it off there. And there was no mechanical issues. So I just want to go, hey, Pam, me and Pam had a good relationship. We had a good relationship.
Oh, no.
Well, no, it's because Joe's a pompous a-hole. And Joe, he's my employee. So I call up there, and at first, I call at 12:30 when I leave here. And she's out to lunch. I said, oh, perfect. When's she coming back? She goes, oh, she'll be back around 1. I said, perfect. 1:24, I call back, and Joe answers the phone. I don't know if they have caller ID, if he recognized my voice, but I go, hey, is Pam available? And he goes, she's not available for you. What can I help you with?
Ooh.
Like all crappy. And I go, why'd you say to speak to Pam? And he goes, Pam's not available. And I go, oh, I was told she'd be back from lunch at 1 and to call back at 1. I said, and Jan told me to call. And he goes, I don't know a Jan. And I go, you don't know your boss? And he loses his mind, Dale. He starts yelling at me. Yelling at me. We're not doing this. You don't know who you think you are. You're not talking to my employees. And I go, whatever, buddy. And I just hang up the phone. Then I call Jan. And you know what? Jan answers the phone and he goes, hey, Steve. He goes, hey, Steve. And he answers the phone. And I go, hey, man.
Hold on. Jan's a boy?
No, Jan's a boy, yes. It's 2025, Dale. Don't ask those questions.
Okay.
So then I go, hey, man, I'm about to take my car down to the Chandler look. He goes, I'm here right now. How long will it take you to get here? And I go, like 30 minutes. I go, I live right by the Queen Creek shop. I go, but I'm calling you for a simple reason. I go, I just called down there to talk to Pam about I need some information on my car that she recommended I do. And I just got yelled at and screamed at by your a-hole of an employee. I didn't say a-hole. I said the real word and everything like that. But no, he goes, hey, Steve. He goes, then I said that. And he goes, oh, no, I said, I'm calling you, though, about I just called the Queen Creek location to talk to Pam. I go, and your a-hole employee just yelled at me. And he goes, what did he do now? And I go, now? I go, this means you know he's a problem. And he's like, well, it's just, I don't understand what his problem is right now. He's just acting weird and blah. And I'm like, what? And I just go, look, man. And so I tell him what happened and everything and whatnot. So then I take my card and he's like, well, I'll talk to him about it, blah, blah, blah. And I go, man, I need to talk to Pam. I go, or this is going to escalate. Because Pam told me to do these steps as a former adjuster. And I'm willing to let it go. I just wanted to talk to her and get clarification on what she told me to do. I've spent $400 on this car out of my own pocket off of Queen Creek Classic Collision's recommendations on what I should do, including a new license plate, because Pam told me I had no license plate on this car. There was no license plate on the car. So I went to the DMV, stood in line for 2.5 hours to get a license plate, all that stuff. So not only does Classic Collision treat you like down there at the Queen Creek location, they also cost you money and lie to you. And now what is Joe and his cohorts doing down there? They're not letting you talk to anybody down there because they know it's a problem. Then reviews started popping up on my, how the phones hear everything. Reviews start popping up. Exact same thing. Remember how I said when I dropped the car off and I said the headlights don't even match? And he goes, well, there's rock chips in them. We don't fix rock chips. There's 5 reviews from people giving them 1 stars and all have the same words in there. Oh, they said the paint job was bad because of the rock chips in the paint job.
Oh, so that's
that Classic Collision Queen Creek uses rock chips as the excuse to not fix your cars properly, folks. So not only that, it's a simple thing. So I haven't heard from Pam yet. I've solicited my question and everything like that. So it's got to get escalated now. If they're ripping me off, imagine what they're doing to other people that won't stand up for themselves or don't know any better. So this is all stuff I'm learning. I thought it was all just status quo. Turns out Joe has Pam make people rip you off. And they recommend you go do things before they accept your car and that aren't needed. And I spent $250 or whatever it was for Santan Ford to tell me the car is perfectly fine. But they said it wasn't. So that was my Friday. And here's the best part. I dropped the car off and everybody's nice. You know what the lady at the Chandler location did? I'll give her props. Kennedy, good job. I walk in and she goes, you must be Steve. And I go, I'm the troublemaker. And she goes, and so she literally grabs the State Farm quote that all Joe had to do was get off his duff and go grab the State Farm quote. By the way, all the questions I was being asked about the trunk that I couldn't answer, all part of the warranty claim. All part of what State Farm sent over. Replaced the whole trunk. And she wants me to address every little ding on the trunk. And Joe wanted me to address every little ding on the trunk when they would have got off their duff and they would have looked at the State Farm quote that was sent to them. It said replace the whole trunk. But they're too lazy to do that, folks. They'd rather rip you off and call you names and tell you what a piece of garbage you are instead of doing their simple job. So Kennedy over the Chandler location goes, I got your quote right here. Let's go look at it. We walk out there. She goes, yep. Marks it down. Yep. Didn't ask me one damn question about the car because it was all spelled out for her. Classic Collision Queen Creek, folks. Stay away from that garbage place. I'm not done with them yet. We have a platform here, and I'm going to start they've decided, I do the nacho reviews, and I just do posts. I've been thinking for a while, like I'm going to do some video stuff on reviews, some stuff like that. Movie reviews. We've talked about that here before. I'm also going to do people that rip people off reviews. Greg Harper's retiring. Maybe I'll take up that mantle here from Channel 3. Maybe I'll take up that mantle on companies that rip you off. And it's all because they're restricting there from that. And I'm just like, dude, whatever, man. So I'm just saying. Well, the Chandler location, and now I'll tell you this. I know because I was told the Chandler location, just their GM was just let go or quit or whatever. And they have all new staff there because their GM wasn't doing a good job. I was told this by people in Classic Collision. But then I show up, Dale, and after I get done with the front office there, I hear people talking in the hallway of the Chandler Classic Collision. You know what they're talking about, Dale? They're talking about how I don't seem like the giant a-hole that Joe and the staff at the Classic Collision Queen Creek told them I was. And how they're glad that they didn't refuse my business and stuff like that. Because I'm not a giant jerk, like he said he was. They were murmuring about what they were told about me from Joe and his girls at the front of Classic Collision. Queen Creek. So now they're calling everybody else and blaspheming me as well. So it's on, Joe. It's on, buddy. Let's do it. That was my Friday, Dale. Then Ethan picked me up, went home. We went to Five Nights at Freddy's.
So did it get better from there, or did it get worse?
Well, no,
there?
I mean that stuff's just water off my back. I don't care what.
Oh, it bothers you.
Well, no. Well, what bothers me is the unprofessionalism.
Yeah.
And he wants to pick a fight with me. Hey, I'm game, buddy. I'm game. Let's be clear about that, Dale. I'm game, Joe. Let's do it. That's the problem. I don't like bullies, and I don't like short bullies who think they're bigger than they are because he's a short man. I don't like people that want to make stuff up and lie, and I don't like people that rip people off. That's why I don't like Joe, and they keep pushing it. Fine. Let's push it. Let's push it, Joe. Let's get it out there, buddy. Looking forward to it. And then, I just got in the car with Ethan and we drove home. We had a great day. It didn't bother me at all.
Okay.
I just literally listening to them talk about me at the Chandler location, about how I'm not as bad as Queen Creek says I am. And I just sit there and laugh and laugh and laugh. And I got in the car with Ethan and we drove off. Five Nights at Freddy's was a good movie, though. I enjoyed it a lot. But not as slow as the first one.
But this is the second one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have to watch the first one to know what's going on in the second one?
No. But see, here's the thing. I know nothing about Five Nights at Freddy. It's a video game and all this. I know nothing about the lore and the story and all of that. No clue whatsoever.
Okay.
So the first one, I walked out of it. First one gets a little slow at times. It does. But overall, I thought it was a fairly good movie. I was like, oh, it's pretty good. I like it. But then after we left, Ethan was explaining to me the lore of it and who people were. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. God, if I would have known that, it probably would have been more enjoyable than what it was. The second one, it's same type of concept. I had no clue what some of the stuff was happening.
So you never played this video game?
No, I've never looked into it. Never know anything about it other than you have to survive the night because the monsters eat you or whatever. That's the gist I knew about it. So, no, you could see the second one without seeing the first one, and you'll probably feel the same way I did about the first one, where you're just kind of like, okay, why are the monsters eating people? And you find out. They explain it and stuff. So you can get it. But it was really good. It's fast-paced. It was some jump scares in there with one of the monsters. That was kind of fun. I enjoyed it. It's fast-paced. Recommend it if you're into that stuff.
Do you think that the people who have played kids or otherwise,
they loved it?
If they've played the game,
They loved it.
That they relate a little bit more?
We were in the theater with a lot of young people.
Okay.
Let's just put it that way. There wasn't a lot of us old folks in there. And they were loving it. Yeah, they loved it. Ethan enjoyed it and all that stuff. Yeah, so if you know the lore and you know the games and stuff, I think they enjoyed it a little bit more, But I enjoyed it. Like I said, and I didn't necessarily, I found out stuff after the fact, on what certain people were and who they were and all that stuff. And then it was like, oh, I guess that makes better sense than what I was thinking and what I was watching. But you can watch it and still enjoy it. It's not like you're lost, like, wait, who's that person? Why's that person doing it? It's not like that at all. So I'd recommend it. Not for you, Dale, because you're chicken when it comes to horror movies.
God, I can't remember the last time I saw a horror movie. Maybe a Halloween, one of the 19 Halloweens or something.
One of the first ones there?
Yeah.
Well, you went because, what's her name's in it? The original one, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, I did like me some Jamie Lee Curtis.
Robert says, Joe is 5'7", isn't he? And he goes, I knew it because I said he has short man syndrome. Yeah, he's a shorter dude. Spiky hair. Don't worry, I got a picture of him. When I do my review, it'll be coming up.
You got a picture of him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But
did you pull your phone out and snap?
Yeah, no. What Joe doesn't know is a person that was with me was recording stuff. So okay. we got him. And all that stuff. Yeah. He's an abuser. Joe's an abuser of his clientele, takes advantage of them, and that bothers the heck. Because if they're doing it to me, just imagine how they're taking advantage of old ladies, kids that are taking their cars in there and stuff like that. That's what that facility's doing, folks. And it's all truthful. It's all there. I'm sure Joe will try to sue me and tell me I'm being but it's all truthful and it's all there. They told me I didn't have a license plate, and I did. They told me they rejected the car and sent it back to Santan Ford because they said, oh, it has mechanical issues. The mechanical issues should be checked out. And the insurance company's like, no, it's fine. And so the insurance company, so then I call the insurance company, like, if you want to check it out, you can, but it's fine. And I was like, well, they're not accepting it. I trust Pam with everything I've been through with her. I trust Pam to be right on this and everything. So I took it. I had Santan Ford do a little overlook, and that's not cheap, man, to look over the car. It's $200. And they go, yeah, this car's perfect. They did no damage to it in terms of the motor or anything like that.
Right.
They said, if anything, the oil's old. I'm like, well, yeah, it's been sitting for 9 months. So I said, do an oil change. But I paid $200 and something for Santan Ford to look at it off of their recommendation, which was false and wrong. And I listened to it because I had a good relationship with that shop at that time. And then Joe had to go mess it all up with his girl in the front. And now they're bashing me to other places. Okay, buddy. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
All right, so you got through your Friday, and I have a feeling this isn't the last we've heard of this.
No. There's going to be a commercial playing every show coming up here, folks.
Then you go to Saturday, and you got a lot of picks wrong on Saturday, Steve. You got a lot of picks wrong on Saturday.
I got one wrong. What do you mean a lot of them?
I don't even know who we picked.
I know, exactly. Kobe, throw it up. College football show picks. Throw it up here.
We
got them all right, except for one. I told you I liked Indiana in the game. I just couldn't trust them to beat a seasoned Ohio State.
Yes.
He didn't even know, folks.
I did. I forgot.
I could have changed that, and you'd have no idea.
You could have changed that.
I'm not Joe at Classic Collision. Dale, I don't make stuff up and lie and cheat people.
We did pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, well, I told you this was the most disappointing championship weekend matchup that I can think of in a long time.
Well, except for that last one.
That was a fantastic game. Even though the Duke Virginia game ended up being that they did the ACC a disservice having that kickoff at the same time as Ohio State Indiana.
Yeah.
That was a disservice to that ACC game. Now, it wasn't perfect football. There was a lot of problems with it, but close game into overtime, that's what you want. But in terms of, we had North Texas Tulane because, like I said, I had a feeling a big team goes down in this team, you're going to get two group of 5 teams into this. That's because you asked on Friday, why are we picking these 2 games? And I said, well, one of these teams at least is getting into there. I had a feeling both of them were going to get in if a big team lost. And a big team lost.
Which team's that?
Well, I mean, Alabama.
Yeah, but it didn't hurt them.
Didn't hurt them, but it helped putting 2 group of 5 teams in. That's the problem with it, right? And we're going to get into that now. But yeah, so I mean, look at that. You got Indiana. I wanted to pull the trigger on Indiana so bad. I kept saying it on Friday, but I went through it. Look, my biggest problem with Ohio State isn't their talent, Dale. To be honest with you, it's their head coach and their coaching staff. It's just they lose to Michigan every year. And you kind of said it, right? They beat Michigan, so they're over that hump. They're like Texas A&M to me. There's always a letdown game at some point. Now, to be fair, they probably lost to the one team that's as good as them, and if not better, Indiana. That Indiana defense is amazing. Did you see Mendoza's throws? Now everybody's like, Cardinals need to go trade up and get that guy. I don't know if he's going to be a stud pro, but he throws some unbelievable balls against some defensive backs for Ohio State that are going to be pros.
They're going to be first-round picks.
Yes.
And in big situations. And again, when I was watching game day, college game day Saturday, and I heard Nick Saban say Cignetti has done the best coaching. Was it? Now I'm thinking, is it Saban or was it Herb Street? One of the 2
on
guys.
Game Day? Yeah, I don't know which one said this.
I think it was Saban.
I do not watch Game Day. I just catch highlights. I can't stand Game Day.
Who said it's the greatest college coaching job in the history of college football that he can remember.
I think it was Saban.
And, obviously coming from Saban, that means a ton. But
he's not wrong.
But you go, freaking Indiana.
And Indiana pays their players like everybody has. But you know what they haven't done? They haven't done what Texas Tech did, where they just threw money at kids.
Yeah.
$4 million, $2 million, $3 million. They got star kids and they're playing well together to get into that. And they're just usually, that's why I didn't pull the trigger on Indiana. Teams like that tend to falter in those big games because they don't have the historical significance of it.
Right.
To them, they're kind of like, ooh, and they were there last year and got blown out. But it's like you always have that wide-eyed thing you have to worry about, especially with college kids. And that's why I didn't pull the trigger on Indiana, was I was afraid that was going to step up. Nope, they're ready. They're ready, folks. They're ready. Add Ohio State can win a championship. Indiana can win a championship. There's no doubt in my mind about that as well. I'm gonna say this, and people are gonna say I'm a homer. Texas Tech is a real threat to run this table and win this thing. Their defense.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. Think about it. Ohio State, top 5 defense in the country. Indiana, top 5 defense in the country. Texas Tech, top 5 defense in the country.
Number 1.
I'm just saying. I don't know exactly what they are.
I'll tell you.
But they're all top 10-ish.
Yeah.
And
don't forget Georgia.
And usually you're going, okay, you go into the playoffs, whether it's NFL or college. It's offense,
Yes, score a lot of points,
and yet to see that game on Saturday night in Indianapolis come down to that. I've always cheered for the underdog.
I agree. You'd rather see the well, a lot of people do. That's why when you win 3 in a row, everybody hates you.
Yeah,
or 2 in a row, everybody hates you.
Yes.
So everybody's gloating that the Chiefs are losing this year.
Yes,
they're tired of it. They want to see the underdog win.
It's a cute thing when you win 1, then you kind of get annoyed at 2, and then if you go for 3, screw you.
Yeah, then it becomes on college, then you hate the coach, right? Because you can't hate the players because they've all rotated over and stuff like that. Yeah, but in terms of the picks, all the other games were just snoozers. Why are we here? Why are they even playing? What's going on with it? Like, even the Duke-Virginia game was a fun watch. It was a fun watch. Right. But then you're like, oh, yeah, but it's Duke and Virginia.
Well, I'm a guy who I don't care if I'm doing a high school game or a college game or an NFL game. I really don't care how good the 2 teams are that I'm doing the game.
If
it's competitive, it makes it much more enjoyable.
I say that all the time. Just have the. Here's the problem with my college football. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to say this, and we'll take our break, and then we'll come back and keep it rolling here as well. But throw the college football playoff bracket up for me here really quick. You want to see competitive football when it comes playoff time, right, Dale?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, JMU, Oregon. Holy crap. How many points is Oregon going to win by in that one?
At Oregon.
Yeah. Tulane, Ole Miss. Holy crap. How many points is Ole Miss going to win in that one? You have uncompetitive 2 out of 4 first-round games are uncompetitive. And that's a joke of a system that you got. You get into the playoffs, it should be the best 12 matchup because you want to see the best team win and make it through it. Now, the NCAA tournament has so many teams. You got 1 versus 18, and it's a mismatch from there. But you know what, though? There's so many games in that you're like, all right, we'll sacrifice that game because we know there'll be other great games in the first round, and then they get tighter as they go. 2 of your 4, you're going to ask us to tune into, and 2 teams are going to get boat raced. Don't even belong in this. That's not a knock on James Madison. That's not a knock on Tulane. Here's the other thing. We talk about this with the Open all the time, Dale. My last thing before we go to break. And if you want to add anything. We talk about the Open all the time. You can't have 5A teams go into the Open, play Basher, get boat raced, and then they're out of the playoffs. They don't have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Tulane and James Madison could cap their unbelievable season with going up against a team that they're better matched up again and beating them.
Playing each other.
They're going to end their miraculous seasons. That's what I'm going to get to when we come back here. This playoff system is a joke. The committee's a joke. There's a better system out there that they won't do because the committee should be paid and whatever. But these guys are going to end their season losing by 50, 60 points. What a crappy way to end a season at that point.
You're not picking JMU?
Well, I'm not going to let my secrets out.
Going up to Oregon and thumping on them.
I'm not going to let my secrets out yet. Wouldn't that be awesome if one of those teams wins? Come on back, folks. Main event. We'll keep it going with college football. And we're back here.
What?
And Anthony Totri. Oh, don't worry. Breaks are going to
What?
get longer here with my review of Classic Collision Queen Creek coming up here.
My goodness, Steve.
And my buddy Joe with his ripping his customers off.
I
Joe.
barely got a sneeze in.
Anthony Totri. If I'm saying it right, I've always called him Anthony Totri and everything. He's an ASU beat reporter for PHNX Sun Devils. Just released breaking news, which is a shocker of no shockers. Sam Levitt's expected to enter the portal, Dale. Woo! Is it breaking when we've known it for 2 months?
And I don't care what he does or where he goes, but why didn't you show up?
Yeah, I think that's a negative. I think that's a negative thing on him. He's not the kid I thought he was.
It's just a bad look, whether he is or isn't. It's just a bad look.
Yeah. I mean, he was all about the team.
Yeah.
You know who will always have a place in my heart and love him to death as being a Sentinel? Jordan Tyson. He was out there all the time, communicating with players and everything, showing up to the banquet to support his teammates and everything. And another guy, the other thing that drives me nuts is his brother's all denying the thing earlier. And we all knew it was true. And his brother's like, it's not true. Whatever, dude. Quit being clowns, Levitt family.
Well, we did see Jordan Tyson out there playing on a pulled hamstring and give it over to. But we're talking about showing up to eat some free food.
Yes, and get your awards
and
go
get your
home.
award and go up and be introduced as the captain.
If you don't know what we're talking about, last night was ASU banquet and everything. But here's what he did. Sam Levitt became selfish last night and showed us that he is selfish. And here's what I mean by that, in my opinion. Come back, don't come back, whatever. Like I said, in my opinion, ASU is prepared to be without him next year regardless because they thought he was going pro. I'm not even so sure that ASU told him, like, hey, man, we're not paying you what you're wanting from us next year.
Right.
I have a feeling that conversation has happened. So he might be a little upset about it on top of it, right? And things of that. But you're at the banquet and everything. And he's giving awards to the captains and the players and all of that stuff and everything. Well, this is from Sun Devil source. I'm going to read it verbatim here. When it came time to honor Levitt, Dillingham told the entire audience.
But can I preface it?
Yep.
All the captains were up on stage.
Tyson.
Whoever else was the captains
Ben
this
Coleman,
year.
who's out injured this year, was there. Everybody injured.
All the
was
captains
there.
were called up on stage and
being honored, yes.
And said something about him.
So Dillingham told the entire audience that it would be cowardly not to mention Levitt while recognizing the rest of the team's captains, even though he wasn't there. And this is from several attendees reporting back to Chris Cartman and Sun Devil Source and stuff like that as well. So, and it's, again, Dillingham keeps showing that he's the right man for this job. Dillingham cares about kids. He cares about the program, and he cares about the kids coming out of his program. One guy doesn't care enough to show up and support not only his coach, who gave him a career.
Yep.
He was a nobody at Michigan State, and gave him a career, a coach that backs him 100%, a coach that wanted to see him at that banquet to award him and be proud of him and all of that stuff. And Kenny Dillingham does the right thing and still awards him the stuff even though he's not there. And you're too cowardly to show up to this thing for whatever reason. It bothers me, man. It bothers me. And it bothers me partly because I thought Sam Levitt was the real deal. I don't have a problem with Sam Levitt transferring. We've been over this. I have zero problem with him. Go get your bag, especially because you're injury prone and you might not make it to the next level as a high draft pick.
So
go get your money now, 100%.
I'm going to concur with you on that. So going into this season, you were being hyped up as maybe an outside Heisman candidate.
It wasn't an outside. He was.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
he was
5 or 6 in the odds.
Yeah. Anyway,
outside is not being in the odds, but still being like, oh, if he does enough, he can get there. He was in the conversation,
and I think all ASU fans were bracing for the fact he wasn't going to be back here, but it was going to be because he was going to be drafted.
He's going to be a first-round draft pick.
Yes,
yeah,
and obviously the Heisman thing went away with injury and his play, and now it looks like he's not going to be back, but for a different reason. And I don't blame him. If somebody's dumb enough
I
to
don't.
give him $2, $3, $4, $5 million next year to play quarterback. I'm taking it if I'm him because I don't know where I'm going to be drafted.
Especially with the injuries. I said that before. He's gotten a dose of reality here. I'll put it this way. Even when he was healthy to begin the season, Dale, he wasn't lighting it up.
No, they came out of the gates. He struggled a little bit.
A little bit's an understatement compared to what you thought he would be. He struggled without his buddy Jordan Tyson out there, right? And stuff to that effect. So, and say it's a knock on Levitt all you want, but that's the reality of the situation. And I have zero problem with him transferring.
Right.
I have zero problem with Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss for LSU. It's how you leave that says what kind of person you are.
Yes.
Not going to the banquet and being there for your players that fought hard for you last year, fought hard for you this year, and not being there for them shows us what kind of selfish young man you are at this point. And it's disappointing to see. I'll rank this up here with my disappointment when we learned who's the head coach that's at ESPN now? Herm Edwards. Yeah. When we learned that Herm Edwards was a fraud. I was severely disappointed in that because he sold himself as a man of, don't hit send, do the right thing. And turns out he did all the wrong things.
But the one thing about that I differentiate between those two situations, Herm Edwards stole money from the ASU.
Yes.
Literally stole money from ASU.
Yeah.
Sam Levitt, he came back to play this season.
Yeah, no, I'm just disappointed in how he's going. Go to the banquet, man. And then
whoever advised him not to go did him no favors whatsoever. And that's something that I believe, unless he comes out next year wherever he goes and just lights it up for an entire season, that's always going to be but.
I wonder. I just wonder if there was a conversation where Arizona State was like, his brother, his agent, went to Arizona State and said, well, it's going to take $6 million. He's got a multi-million-dollar deal on the table that he worked off of this year to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no doubt that his brother probably went to the university and said, well, we want $6 million now. And they're like, no, we can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the problem is, like I said, they've been prepping for him to leave.
Right.
And now it's like, and then he's like, oh, is he upset about it now? Oh, they don't want to show me the money. Who do they think they are? They'll be all right without you, man, because you weren't good before you got injured.
It would be fascinating to know the inner workings. Was he butthurt because they said, hey, you know what, we got this show.
Isn't that the only reason to not show up to the banquet, Dale? Like, let's be honest. What if you're leaving? And they want to honor you as a captain. Because, Kenny, there are schools and coaches that would tell a kid that's entering the transfer portal, you're not part of this team anymore.
Right.
Does Kenny Dillingham, if that was the case, wouldn't have mentioned him at the banquet. They would have pretended like he didn't exist. The fact that Kenny Dillingham said it would be cowardly not to acknowledge him, even though tells you he was invited and wanted to show up, and they wanted him to show up there. That tells you he's upset about something, and he's handling it the wrong. He's handling it like an 18-year-old kid handles stuff. 19-year-old kid handles stuff. Now he's going to wipe the Instagram of everything Arizona State.
It's just a bad look, bad way to end what was a fairy tale last year.
He could go down still with that last year. He could go down as a great guy.
Yep.
I wonder now. To me, it affects the way I view him. But as a fan base, does that affect people? Because this was a banquet behind the scenes. Will this affect the average fan in their opinion?
Oh, no. I think the average fan will just move on. But
that's what I mean. He's not going to be hyped. He's not, to me, he was in Plummer's level with last year's performance, even though he got hurt this year, even if he left. He was not at the same, but he was in that stratosphere of all-time great quarterbacks that took us someplace. Does that get hurt now with the way he's leaving? Because divorce is ugly, man. And when you see those couples that they're just like, yeah, we're done. We're moving on with their life. And then they still hang out. First of all, you're crazy. You got divorced for a reason. Second of all, though, it makes me wonder more about you. But then you're like, oh, that's cool that they handled it that way. And then you got those parents that just constantly fight all the time.
We did it. We stayed friends for the kids' sake.
Yeah.
You couldn't show up to the damn banquet.
Yeah. That yeah.
It's 2 hours. It's 2 hours. Your December.
I'll put it this way: what else is he doing?
Right.
Night? But what else is he doing on Sunday night? But he can't show up to the.
No matter. No,
I can tell you this: he's not working out
because no matter what,
because he's on a walking scooter.
No matter what happens, wherever he goes, whatever he does, ASU gave him some cash money this year.
Yes.
And money that will last him for a few years. More money than he'd make in the National Football League.
Well, that's my point. Is that, and that's why I will not disparage him to go someplace. But he's got health concerns. Right. He was banged up last year.
If I'm another school, I'm having reservations.
Well, see, it depends on what kind of a coach you are. I mean, there's a lot of reservations about Jaden Daniels, man. And he went to LSU, and look, he had to fight for that job, and he won it, and look what he did. You go to the right school, you'll be good at it, right? But that's the thing. It's like, what is happening right now? I'll put it. Michigan State hasn't been good for what, 3 years now? 4 years now? Like terrible bad. Jonathan Smith, who they just fired, has not been good. And as a freshman, he couldn't win that job. And then he comes here, beats Jeff Sims out. I don't know how hard of a job that was, to be honest with you. Jeff Sims has problems with turnovers and so I don't know how hard of a job that is. Now you're telling me, like I said, Miami needs a quarterback. Texas Tech needs a quarterback. He's going to drop into those systems. How good is he going to be with the pressure that's going to be on him?
It's going to be interesting.
To be on that. Because, I mean, he said earlier this year, part of his problem was at the beginning of the season was he was thinking too much about the Heisman and being in that conversation. Now go to a school that puts pressure on you and expects winning.
Yes.
And expects
fan bases that expect to win.
It's going to be interesting to see because I think that was part of his problem. He's admitted it as well. Robert says at TME Sports Show, don't forget, text us 623-252-6670 anytime you're catching the show. And then, of course, hit us up at TME Sports Show on X as well. He says, Levitt not showing up is Bo Callahan level stuff. Nice draft day reference there as well. Yeah, I mean, you've been in a locker room, and I know locker rooms are different today than they were before. And like I said, I'm going off the premise he was not told to stay away because why else would you reference him?
Right.
In the thing. How do you not show up for your brothers that fought hard for you the last 2 years? Guys you have relationships with and everything, and you don't show up to just have keep the band together one more night before you all go off the separate ways. And you went, nah, it's all right. Just what kind of teammate are you? Well, this is my question. What kind of teammate are you?
Here's what I'm trying to put myself in. So I'm trying to put myself in. I'm one of those offensive linemen who fought, bled, sweat, bleed, whatever.
Sweat, yeah. I'll help you out.
I got
grass stains,
discombobulated there.
Grass stains.
But we battled through a lot of stuff together,
yes.
Starting in Tonazona and even last year. And I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting at the banquet, and I don't see you there, and I text you, "Hey, where you at?"
Yeah.
And
you're having a hard time getting your scooter in here. You need help.
And if you text me back, I ain't coming. I'm trying to put myself in that position as that would legitimately piss me off.
Yeah.
I feel the same way now at 63 that I believe I'd feel at 20. The fact that I don't care what you do next year.
Yeah. It's not about next
year. I don't
right
care
now.
What you do next year. Whether you're here, whether you're there. I don't know if I'm coming back or you're coming. You need to be here with the guys.
Yeah, none of us might be back next year. Yeah.
It might be complete turnover. It may not.
That would be like you do the SMU 40th reunion and Dickerson goes, yeah, I'm not interested.
Yes.
You would be like, what the hell, man? Like you were a part of this team and now you're too good for us to come and do this type of a thing? Like it would be generally insulting to everybody out there. And like I said, it's different because he's not in the portal. He hasn't signed with another team. He's technically still part of this team. And like I said, I'm going off of the notion he was asked to be there and invited to be there because otherwise you wouldn't have mentioned it.
And I can't imagine in a million years Dillingham saying, hey, with your uncertainty, stay away. Because that's
no,
not going to happen for 3 weeks.
But it happens. There are coaches that if you even mention or they think you're going to transfer, they will tell you you're not on this team anymore. It happens all over college sports. I can tell you right now, Lane Kiffin's one of those guys. Remember last year, Kenny Dillingham, kids were in the transfer portal. He's like, you guys are still practicing. We got a bowl game to get ready for.
Right.
You guys are still practicing with us. He's a different cat. And strumming your nose and being like, oh, I can't do it. It'd be one thing if he had to work out or he was out of town because he had to go visit a school. But you're not doing that on a Sunday night at 9 p.m., folks.
Right.
And the transfer portal doesn't open until January. It's just you're not doing that.
I'm just wondering, after that text, I guarantee you somebody on the team, most likely an offensive lineman, maybe
Jordan Tyson. Yeah, they're buddies.
Hey, buddy, where you at? And if I get a text back from him saying, hey, man, I just felt uncomfortable, I didn't want to be there, hey, let's meet for beers afterwards.
Yeah.
Well,
at least he offered to hang out with you. Yeah, no, this is us being together one last time before everything changes going into next year. Let's do it, man. Especially, this is what bothers me even more. Jordan Tyson's going to be, his stock might drop a little bit. We'll see because of maybe some injury concerns. Yeah. But he's going to be a first-round pick, probably top 15. I'm not going to say top 10 like I once thought, just because of that injury concern.
Yep.
But let's say 15, 20. And Sam Levitt's big-timing Jordan Tyson right now. If you're Jordan Tyson, you're going, the hell, man? Who do you think you are right now?
Bad look.
That would be like, who was the backup there for Jason Garrett looking at Troy and be like, I'm not going, Troy, because, I'm good.
I'm a free agent.
I'm good to not go.
I'm a free agent.
And Troy would be like, what the hell are you talking about? You hold my clipboard. Get to this damn thing. Who do you think you are? I don't get it, man. It drives me nuts. I don't get it. Is that the way we are? I mean, there's a lot of things about college football that's changing right before our eyes right now. Yeah. And I don't like it.
I know we're at the top of the hour. By the way, we'll get into it maybe as the week goes on. The more I read about the Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, and I'm not a Lane Kiffin fan, but a lot has to do with the scheduling of the college football season.
So I read over the weekend, I don't know if this is true or not. I read over the weekend from one source. Now, keep in mind, one source. I read over the weekend, and it said LSU agreed that Lane Kiffin could finish coaching. Do you believe that? Because this is transfer portal time.
Yeah.
And Lane Kiffin can't take the job and ignore LSU in this pivotal time if he wants to have transfer kids come in and his transfer kids come in and stuff to that effect. And like I said, one person reported that, and I just don't know if I believe that.
Yeah, it would be very difficult because
like Tulane's head coach, North Texas's head coach, JMU's head coach, all have different jobs.
Right.
And their teams are willing to let them coach through it before they move over there. You know what the major difference is, though, between those three guys and like a Lane Kiffin? Lane Kiffin's going to Ole Miss's competition.
To what Ole Miss considers their biggest rival.
But you can recruit kids to go with you while you're training them for a month here on this side. No kid from James Madison, no kid from Tulane, and no kid from North Texas is going to Florida, UCLA, or whatever. Well, he might be able to get some of those kids to go to UCLA and might improve them a little bit, but it's not a threat to those schools that they're going to lose some high-powered kids over to that thing, to their competition. They're not in the same competition level, and that's the difference. That's why I just cannot believe that LSU was like, oh, no, go coach Ole Miss. We'll be good. That just tells me Lane Kiffin is just a big
Remember, the
liar.
NFL has changed the way that they hire their head coaches now because of playoffs and things like that.
You can't interview guys while they're in the playoffs and stuff to that effect. But it's just the way it needs to be. The same thing with this transfer portal.
But the transfer portal thing, that's why I keep harping. That has to be from May 1st to May 30th.
The transfer portal opens, if you don't know, the first day of the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
So every team that's opening at home in the college football playoffs, they're playing a game on transfer portal open day.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. But could this be kind of like the NFL draft where, hey, you guys are good enough to be in the playoffs? This is your penance. Now we get these lower tier teams that can maybe get some of these kids. Maybe it's a version of the draft, Dale.
Well, that's what recruiting is, isn't it?
Well, Well, I mean, they're recruiting up to that. Look, if you haven't gotten the kid by transfer portal opening day, he ain't coming to yours. If you're calling him on that day,
Yeah, if you think that there's not calls going on right now.
yeah, that's what the agents are up to and everything. Come on back, folks. We'll keep it rolling. We got to talk college football playoffs, and then
Stevie's Cardinals.
I'm a Rams fan now. Come on back, guys. The main event. And we're back here. Main event, second hour coming up. Hey, he's starting the second hour like he started the first hour. Not ready to go. He'll be back in just a second here. Don't forget, I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you can subscribe our podcast system out there as well. Follow us here at Robat TV live, of course, and on demand as soon as we're done. You can text us 623-252-6670 and hit us up also on X at TME Sports Show as well. Whenever you're watching us, either live here or on demand, we love the interaction with you guys out there and everything. And as Dale comes back in here, don't forget about the YouTube page as well. Catch the shows there. Subscribe that, and the free podcast system just helps us get out there as well. And the YouTube page is just the shows and stuff that we produce. We have some new ideas coming out this year. I told you guys early in the show, I've been contemplating, movie reviews and not doing a full show setup on it, just more of doing little blips and stuff to that effect and reviewing, places we visit, reviewing food, nachos mainly because I, love me some nachos and everything. So that'll be coming your way there as well. And that's what that YouTube page is going to be used for on a lot of that stuff as well. And of course, I'm a 17-year NFL veteran, Dale Hellestrace. Made it back for the second hour as well.
Oh, boy, you got to have at least a commercial break where I can go urinate.
It's coming, man. I'm telling you, I'm going to expand it. We're going to have the Classic Collision sucks. I'm trying to figure out what award we're going to have an award like you're kind of like one of those you're a dumbass awards, But I don't want to call it that, but I'd be like you're an idiot award or stupid thing to say or do award. It'll be sponsored by Joe over at Classic Collision Queen Creek. We have a little stamp that pops up on the screen.
A little trophy.
I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate that in there. He's just going to be part of our show, Dale. He likes me so much that we're just going to make him part of the show, whether he likes it or not out there. But we're obviously talking college football here and everything.
Hey, before we get into all this other stuff, I want to spend as much time and attention on Major League Baseball as they spend on themselves. Congratulations, Jeff Kent, for getting elected Hall of Fame. Now let's move on. Let's move on.
I have it on my list here.
Let's move on.
Well, I just want to say what I was going to say when we talked about it, because I was going to do the same thing at the end of the show. I was going to be like, oh, yeah, by the way, it's Major League Baseball. But I was going to say congratulations to Jeff Kent, because not only does nobody know you're in the Hall of Fame, nobody will know you're in the Hall of Fame because the ceremony will be on a random Tuesday at 2 p.m. when all the games are happening.
Isn't he the guy who got in a car accident or a motorcycle accident in Scottsdale?
And he said he was washing his truck and fell out of his truck because motorcycle riding was banned from his in his contract, but washing his truck was not. Yeah, that was him. I think he said I think he even said, "Google me," because like nobody knows who Jeff Kent is.
Go ahead on there, Jeffrey.
Just it's just the steal. Like they just casually throw that out on a Sunday, NFL Sunday. Dude.
Yeah. Perfect timing.
The worst part about it too is I read more about how Barry Bonds and Clemens and those guys didn't get enough. They're now not eligible until 2031. What a stupid system.
Yeah.
But speaking of dumb awards, brought to you by Classic Collision Queen Creek Joe, the GM, Major League Baseball. I read more about how 2031 and Bonds isn't eligible I read more about that before I found out Jeff Kent got voted in. At the bottom, I'm like, oh, Jeff Kent got voted in.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. All that. Speaking of stupid and ridiculous.
Uh-oh.
We showed you the bracket here earlier. 2 of the 4 games are going to be utter blowouts. Throw the bracket up again here just for people in case they're just tuning in and they were unavailable yesterday. They didn't see it. I am excited about these other 2 games, though. Alabama, Oklahoma. Miami, Texas A&M. Let's see what those guys can bring into this table. Alabama has sucked for the last 5 weeks. They've been terrible. They finished the SEC championship game with -3 yards rushing offense. And that's one of your 12 best teams in the country, Dale, Alabama. And every other team that lost in championship weekend moved down a spot. Texas A&M. I'm sorry, not Texas A&M. Excuse me.
Ohio State.
BYU. All moved down a spot, except for one, Alabama.
Somehow Miami moved up too, and they didn't even play.
Okay, I thought Miami. I said it every week. Miami should be in over Notre Dame head-to-head. Miami played a harder schedule. Miami should be in. If it comes down to those 2, Miami should be in. Notre Dame should be out. But if you want the best teams in this, why is Notre Dame not in this?
I am 100% with you. Again,
you can even argue Texas getting into this over a group of 5. Wouldn't those be better matchups than James Madison?
But if
Oregon?
you have your rules, well, then go ahead and put Tulane in there.
Yeah, but the second one.
But the second one is the one that makes me go, come on now. And again, to me, the Miami Notre Dame argument, you could talk analytics, you could talk about strength of schedule, you could talk about this, the other thing.
Miami wins it all.
Miami beat Notre Dame
head to head.
There's no, and it was early in the year.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But again, when you're comparing these, it's really hard to compare 2 teams that never played each other. If I'm having a debate with you, but my team played a tougher schedule than your team played, and you're going to say, well, yeah, but mine scored more points. You could do all that, but then it's like when it's on the field, that is the ultimate decider in my mind.
Well, I don't disagree, and they came to that decision. My issue is, and what Notre Dame has a right to be upset about, is seemingly out of nowhere they went, oh yeah, Miami is better. Miami should be in here. When Miami should have been in there the whole time over Notre Dame. And then they flip it in. Notre Dame has a legit gripe on this. Then just this constant ever-changing of the committee and their what they want. Conference championships matter. Conference championships don't matter. BYU, it mattered, right? Yeah. Ohio State, it mattered. But it didn't matter to Alabama. Like, what are you doing? The committee is corrupt. They're biased. And the thing that drives me the most about this is just ESPN constantly saying, we have no say in this whatsoever. And then you're watching the pregame thing because it takes forever to get to the brackets. You're watching it, and they go, oh, let's go to the reporter that's in the room with them as they're deciding on who goes where. Who else is in that room with them? ESPN, who you say you have nothing to say about it. Come on, tell us the truth. But here's the bottom line that I'd like to point out. We can argue that. And if it was 16 teams, we'd be arguing 16, 17, 18.
No doubt about it.
We argue with the basketball tournament who the last team out is. And you've never seen that team play all year. You're like, that team needs to be in there.
DuQuence belongs in there.
And you argue it, right? And then they go get blown out in the first round, and you're like, that was a stupid. The argument, it's a fun little argument to have leading up to
Yes.
it. I had fun doing it on Saturday night, and then Sunday morning. I had fun like going round and round and reading about it and stuff like that, and just seeing the bias towards, and you know it's out there towards Alabama. It's just ridiculous. But I mean, the committee has bold. The committee sided with an SEC team that got destroyed in their conference championship, not competitive. Destroyed. They showed they don't belong in the upper echelon of this deal, right? And stuff that they sided with that over a team that brings nothing but pure money. But you know who the money goes to? Not ESPN. It goes to NBC. So they're willing to screw that one, but they're not willing to screw the SEC because ESPN can't afford to have the SEC mad at it, folks. These are the things you do. Committee needs to go away. Why can't you just do the top 12 teams in the poll? Manipulate the poll how you need to get your teams in there instead of having however many people sit on their Barker lounges looking miserable. Did you see that on Saturday? They kept scrolling to them during games, and they looked absolutely miserable watching these games on their Barker loungers and everything. It's just ridiculous system. It's stupid. 2 G5 teams in this is a joke. You're watering down your product and everything. And I've said this before when they went to this 12-team playoff. I said it's going to get worse when you get to 16. They're devaluing not just the regular season, they're devaluing the rest of the bowl games. I said yesterday, because Cam Cox came at me on Twitter.
Oh.
I said, these are meaningless. Nobody wants to play in these bowl games anymore. The teams that want to play in the bowl games, sorry, Arizona and ASU fans, are teams like Arizona and Arizona State, right? The teams that don't want to play in bowl games, Notre Dame, right?
Baylor.
Well, they're 5-7. I can the 5-7 teams denying, I can understand.
Yeah.
Because their players are wherever their players are right now.
Right.
To get them back together to play a game in 2 weeks might be difficult. So the 5-7 guys, but we've gone from players begging out of bowl games to get ready for the pros and not get hurt to whole teams sitting out now. Kansas State, Iowa State sitting out. All because they changed the coach? Their coach left, and now all of a sudden they don't want to play in bowl games?
Well,
They don't want to play.
Also, one other little thing, because again, of the transfer portal through December,
You don't want to get hurt.
how many guys are going to say, "Well, I'm not going to play. I'm putting my name in the transfer
Yes,
portal."
and I'm
so
not.
what are you going to show up with? 30 guys?
Yeah.
50 guys? 40? Whatever. And how
Yes.
many starters you miss? There's so much uncertainty.
Yes.
Whereas if you move that transfer portal to May after spring ball, let all the new coaches, let all that happen. You go through spring ball. You don't get along with the coaching staff. Now have a transfer
Yeah,
portal.
I mean, March or April would be fine in my eyes as well. Have it line up with the NFL draft. That'd be fun, right? College drafting and NFL drafting at the same time. But you've made these bowl games meaningless unless you make the playoff for a certain tier of teams. Not every team, a certain tier of teams. Notre Dame didn't make the playoff. I remember back in the day, and I think it was Cal. Cal was thought they were going to get into a BCS bowl and into that playoff. I think it was 2 teams back then. It might have been 4, but I think it was 2. And they missed out. They got robbed and not allowed into it. And they went to the Holiday Bowl, and they didn't want to be there. They got destroyed. They were half playing. They didn't want to be there. They got their butts kicked, and everybody went, oh, look, Cal sucks. Oh, they're terrible. They didn't belong to be in the playoff. They didn't want to play in that game. Oklahoma didn't want to play in that Fiesta Bowl game against Boise State, folks. They wanted to be in the playoff, and they didn't get it, so they went to the Fiesta Bowl and played like dog. And give Boise State credit for their Statue of Liberty play and all that. You're making these bowls unplayable, and people are mad at Notre Dame for going out, not playing in this bowl game. Does it look stupid? Yes. Do I like it? No. But why show up to a bowl game? Why show up to the Pop-Tart Bowl and play BYU in that when you had higher aspirations? You didn't match them. All right, let's get ready for next year. How do we get that college football playoff next year? I can understand it. These bowl games are meaningless to a certain tier of teams.
I see both sides to it, Steve. Kansas State getting fined $500,000.
And Iowa State also, because they both declined the bowls.
Declined bowl games by the Big 12. So not only are you don't make a whole lot of money anymore.
They would have lost money going to a bowl game.
Close.
And they would have lost more than 500,000.
Probably. But as a guy who's been through both sides of that bowl scenario.
Your Sun Bowl story is what was sticking with me yesterday.
Where we literally had a team vote where we're going to play or not, and begrudgingly, we said we'd go play.
Yeah, and this is the Sun Bowl story, right?
Yeah, Sun Bowl against Alabama. We're getting
and you were going to a bigger.
We're recorded by the Fiesta Bowl and the Sugar Bowl.
Yes, and you ended up in the
Two
Sun Bowl.
New Year's Day back in the '80s. New Year's Day games were the thing.
Yes,
and we got bypassed by both of them and said go to El Paso for 5 days. And a lot of guys said no. Well, we voted. It was probably, if there's 100 guys on the team, 51-49 to go play.
Yeah.
But all 100 decided not to play on game day. And it's just a miserable experience.
After the game, did everybody look around and go, why did you guys vote for this?
And not only that, but it was freezing cold. We got
cold.
a pair of cowboy boots. I don't know whatever happened to them.
Yeah. It's just, and I called the bowl games meaningless on a Cam Cox post, and he came back at me. He was like, "Oh, it wasn't meaningless before," and I was like, "It's a different era now, man." Now there'll always be bowl games because, like I said, Arizona State, BYU, even though they didn't make it, to them it's a big deal to play in the Pop-Tart Bowl, and their team wants to do it and stuff like that. But there's a tier of level of teams, because going into the college football thing yesterday, everybody was saying what? Or if Alabama gets loud, teams are going to start sitting out conference championship games. Okay, let them sit out. Imagine if Alabama said, we're not playing the conference championship game. We're sitting it out so we can make the playoffs. And then a team like Purdue gets it. Vanderbilt gets in. And they wanted to play in it because they needed to improve their standing.
Right. Well, and here's the thing.
Okay, let the conference championship games die. I told you how to solve that. You have your top guys play top teams. So 1 through 6. 1 plays 6, or 1 plays 2, 3 plays 4, 5 plays 6. Boom, let's do it. Everybody plays that can make the playoffs, and so nobody's sitting at home yesterday. And when the thing happened, everybody played an extra game. Like, you could do something as simple as that even.
Here's the thing about bowl games I used to hold on to. I got to play in 3 of them. Freshman year, we were 11-1, but we were on probation, so we were ineligible for the game. Sophomore year, we were undefeated.
Preface of the future.
Got to play in the Cotton Bowl against Pittsburgh. Junior year was on the ridiculous Sun Bowl. Senior year was the Aloha Bowl. We were 10-2. No, we were 9-2 going into the bowl game, and we were like 8th in the country. And we got invited to the Aloha Bowl. We got to spend 5 days in Hawaii.
Yes.
That's pretty cool for an 18, 19, 20-year-old.
Absolutely.
And I always tell everybody this. My senior year Christmas vacation for SMU was a week in Hawaii. Then I went to San Francisco for a week at the East-West Shrine Bowl. And I got to spend a week in Japan for the Japan Bowl All-Star game. That's a pretty cool senior trip.
I know I've said this to you before, and I really mean it. Man, your life sucks. I don't know how you survived this long. No, that's the thing that bowl games were a reward for your season.
Yes.
Now they're just in the way for my transfer or whatever.
Yes, and if you're 6-6, is that a reward or is it a penance?
Well, no, because I mean, if you're not going on to the next level, don't you want to play every game you can?
And that's the last thing I'll say about this is the fact that, remember, of all these teams playing,
like Iowa State seniors,
even the Ohio State seniors, Indiana seniors, there's only going to be a handful of them that get to play another game.
Yeah. So Iowa State and Kansas State rubbed me the wrong way because I'm like, just because your coach left, you guys are like, we don't want to play a game again and stuff, and it's just like, what? But this is the reality of where we are. Bowl games are becoming meaningless to some of these teams that aren't going to make the college football playoffs.
And I used to also say this: what is it to any of us if the Pop-Tart Bowl is going on and you don't want to watch it? Don't watch it.
Yeah.
It shouldn't bother you.
BYU Notre Dame would have been a heck of a match.
But I'm just saying, pick any bowl game
Oh, I
that
know.
the Armed Forces
Well,
Bowl.
the Sun Bowl. That's the only bowl game at noon on CBS on the 31st. That is carved out in that window. No other bowl. If you don't want to watch it, don't turn it on.
Right. Get ready for your New Year's Eve party.
Why does it bother you?
Well,
But-
we're all going over to Steve's.
The last thing, I won't be there. I'll be at the Sun Bowl. I'm really going to that.
No.
We really are, yeah.
What?
Well, hold on.
What?
Hold on.
Steve McCollum.
Hold on.
Oh, God.
Last time the Sun Devils were in the Sun Bowl, I had my Achilles tear and all that stuff. So I was in a rocking boot and I had the scooter and everything. And we went to White, which I've been to 1,000 times and stuff like that. I put a big bag on it so I could like hobble around and not get sand in my. Oh, could you imagine that pain with that boot on and everything? But then there's a cave in New Mexico that everybody did, and I didn't get to walk down and stuff like that. And there's some grumblings from people, that they want to go do that stuff again. And I'm like, well, it makes sense to do it, and then just go to the Sun Bowl and drive home. Why not? I mean, look, you got the Devils versus the Devils. I'm gonna walk in a priest uniform. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how much the ticket prices are.
I have a feeling they're going to be top dollar.
But that's the idea. So we have to look into it. But that's the idea.
Sun
It's like
Bowl.
it's like ASU played in the Hawaii Bowl like Dirk Cutters last year. And I went to that because I just I had a vacation scheduled in Hawaii at that time. And then as we were leaving, the day we were leaving, ASU was playing. It was early enough I could go to that game, and then get to the airport and then fly out at like midnight or whatever. So we went to that game. And there legitimately was a guy sitting next to us. I'll never forget this. Who played for ASU, and he lived over there. He's from that area. Played to ASU, and now he's back there. I was talking to him. He was older, probably played in like the 70s. I don't remember his name. And he looks at me. He goes, "Why are you here?" Because if you remember that last Dirk Cutter year, it was terrible. And they ended up getting butt kicked by Hawaii and stuff like that in the bowl game too. But I go, we were here. Our vacation's over. We're leaving tonight. We weren't doing anything today, so we figured we'd come and just hang out.
Steve, if you and your family are saying, you know what, we got 5 days to spend in El Paso and Juarez, and we'll just take the game in while we're there. Just look inside at yourself, Joe. Joe
Dale,
from Collision
we're going to
has
other
more
things.
going on.
We're going to other things. We're going to hit El Paso, and then we're going to get on I-10 and drive home.
Go see the sand in San Diego.
It'd be a nice little vacation. Maybe I have that court date on the 29th. They haven't dropped the charges yet. So
well,
for that
if
rental
you're gonna
property.
do that, you might as well go see Truth and
That's my point.
Consequences in New Mexico.
Look, my kids last time they were there were younger, and they don't necessarily remember it all.
Thank God.
No, hold on. I want to take my kids so they never ask to go back again because they're old enough to remember it this time.
They don't remember El Paso.
That's
That's
the
a good thing.
We're gonna spend zero time in El Paso other than the game.
Oh,
Other than that, we're gonna be in other places, Dale.
You just go enjoy the hell out
So
of it.
ASU's in the Sun Bowl versus Duke.
Yep.
Arizona's in the Holiday Bowl, which is where we knew it would fall. The ACC got all screwed up with Miami getting in, and Notre Dame not wanting to play, so they kind of delayed everything as well. But Arizona and your SMU Mustangs battling it out. If Notre Dame didn't quit, it would have been an SMU ASU Sun Bowl, by the way. I would have made Dale go to that. I would have contacted SMU for you, and I would have said, Hell, the Shade needs tickets. I would have got you a plane ticket so you could just fly in.
I'm actually toying with the idea. I'm talking to some of my Arizona buddies from high school about going to see that Holiday Bowl. I have never been to a bowl game.
Why would you, unless you played in it, why would you go to Arizona SMU? God, both teams are.
It's in San Diego, and they're both better than ASU.
San Diego on January 2nd?
Oh, gorgeous. Do a little ski boat.
You going to go snorkeling? You going to go see my buddy on that SEAL tour? Whatever that garbage was with that guy? Put you to sleep.
They're going to slay on the
With
SEAL
his-
tour.
with his nonsense.
I'm going to go to White Sands.
Maybe leave me alone at White Sands. I won't have some boring tour guide walking me around White Sands. And that's in Snapdragon Stadium.
Are you going to Carlsbad Caverns?
Yes, is that what it's called? Yeah. You been there?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
Go ahead, knock it, because Autumn's the one that wants to do that.
And I forgot most of it.
Yeah,
thank God.
Last time we were there, I had the scooter because I couldn't walk and everything. So I got to take the elevator down while everybody else walked down. So I literally sat up in the visitor center for 30 minutes. And I was bored. And I was like, oh, they got to be almost down. I asked, how long does it take to walk down? They're like, oh, 30 to 40 minutes, whatever. So I'm like, oh, I'll wait 30 minutes up here. I'll take the elevator down. I'll go down. I took the elevator down after 30 minutes, and I'm just sitting down there on this bench.
And it's colder down there.
And it's dark. They have lights, but it's dark. Yeah. It felt like an hour and a half. I'm sitting there. I got so bored at one point that I actually, when it wasn't busy, I took my scooter, and the ground's all uneven, and I'm scootering up these hills, and I'm checking it out. They finally get down there, and they're all like, all right, we're going to go look. And I'm like, I've already seen it all. I'm ready to go.
And by the way, we're tired. We got to hike back up.
No, they got to take the elevator with me on the way back up.
Zero fun. But I suck as a sightseer.
Yeah,
so.
you don't enjoy that stuff. I think that stuff's cool.
Oh, look at this white sand. Oh my goodness, it flows through your face.
No, you get the sleds, man, and you have a heart attack climbing to the top, and you meet the ambulance at the bottom sliding down it. It's a hit, man. It's a hit.
You are not getting on a slide.
I don't do it anymore.
I will pay money if you get
getting on the slide and sliding down isn't the problem. It's getting up once I get down to that slide.
I would take you and Autumn to dinner. She got that on film.
I have some from last time we were there.
No,
I had a big trash bag over my left leg to keep the sand out. I was all taping it so sand wouldn't get in it. I think I was in a cast on that trip. I wasn't even in the walking boot yet.
Well, don't hurt yourself between now and then.
I know that's why. Either Ethan or Ireland said that to me when the conversation came up a couple weeks ago. They go, "Don't break your foot this time when you go." I remember it was a cast now because when I was at the Sun Bowl, the Sun Bowl is kind of like the seats are just long, and they're kind of like whatever. And I had the scooter, so we were talking to them like, "Hey, where can we put the scooter?" Because they didn't want it, blocking aisles or whatever. So they're literally like, "Oh, you can put it in here," and it's at the entrance of the thing. So I scootered to the seat. Somebody had to walk it all the way back over to the place to put it in there.
By we, you mean somebody else?
Well, somebody else because I couldn't walk on it. And then I think it was Autumn actually. And then after the game, I was like, I'm not waiting for somebody to fight the crowd. So I started hobbling with it, trying to make people feel bad. Nobody felt bad. We still had to walk over and get it.
No, because they're at the frickin' Sun Bowl. They feel bad for themselves.
That was Florida State in that year when Florida State fired their coach and all their players weren't playing. It was so bad. It was such a bad game. Sun Bowl's back again, Dale.
I will encourage you to pay for parking, unlike my dad.
At the Sun Bowl? And you parked far away.
Yeah, he parked a mile and a half away, and usually you take a shower after a game. You just get on the bus. It's underneath the stadium. Yeah. It's warm. Whatever. It was about 0 degrees by the time the game ended, and I had to walk a mile and a half with wet hair because I didn't blow dry my hair after the game.
No, you got to go with the wet look. Yeah.
Jeez.
You air dry.
So I got pneumonia and 5 days in frickin' El Paso.
Yeah, I remember that last time too because I had a handicap placard, so we were trying to park close, and everybody's like, "No, you got to go to the next slot." Next thing you know, we're 2 miles away from it, and I'm like, "There's no way this is the handicap lot out here." And we finally found a place where somebody was like, just go in there and park. We were really close to the stadium. I do remember that too, trying to find it. Everybody just kept sending us farther away and farther away. I think we ended up getting on a shuttle, to get to the stadium.
You enjoy yourselves. God bless Autumn. And
am I not selling the Sun Bowl good enough for everybody right now?
Your kids actually want to go. There's no way your kids want to go to the
They're up for a vacation. They'd rather
Not
go
a vacation.
They'd rather go to San Diego. They'd rather go to San Diego.
Let's all go see U of A, SMU.
All right. Well, I can make both. The Holiday Bowl's on. Isn't the Holiday Bowl on the second?
Yeah,
this
it's the
year?
last game.
Yeah, literally, what we did last time was Sun Bowl ended, got in the car, and just hightail. We saw the fireworks of New Year's Eve driving into Phoenix on I-10. We get that. See you later.
God, that's a godforsaken drive.
Yeah, we can still do San Diego on the second. That's Friday. Let's do it. I'm in. I'll go watch SMU. Can I wear my SMU gear? Which side are we sitting on? My Mustang gear from Dobson.
Yeah. Nobody
in.
can tell the difference.
I'll go to that. I'd love to go to that game, San Diego. That'd be fun.
Hey, kids, we're gonna have a great Christmas vacation. We're gonna spend 5 days in El Paso and New Mexico.
Well, that's all precedent that I'm not in jail on the 29th. 'Cause that's my court date again for that rental thing and everything. So I might be behind the bar sales for the new year. With the cup on there.
You're gonna call Joe in as a character.
I'm trying. Yes. Hey Joe, tell him what you told the Chandler location about me. That'll get me off. Come on back, folks. I've been stalling. We got to talk NFL football here. Unfortunately. And we're back here. Man, yeah, the Holiday Bowl. I was surprised when I was talking to. I don't know if I told that story on air, right? Where the Holiday Bowl representative was just wandering around Sun Devil Stadium, and I helped them get to the press box and everything. He even said that to me because I go, remember ASU Holiday Bowl. I go, and I remember saying to him, no matter what happens today, ASU Holiday Bowl.
Well, the one thing about that I don't understand,
but it's late this year. He told me it was later this year. So.
Yeah, it's the last one,
January 2nd. Yeah. Normally it's before New Year's Eve.
But the thing is, when you look at the bowl situation now, I remember back in the 80s, 90s, and probably the 70s before I got into college, Fiesta Bowl had to recruit teams to come out here.
Yes.
So they would go see Oklahoma play. They'd see Nebraska play. They'd see.
There's a big scandal where people got arrested because of how they recruited.
Yeah, and they had shindigs in the spring, but you were actually recruiting teams to come.
Yeah.
Now
they're slotted.
Yeah, it's like, well, why are you out there schmoozing people to come to the Holiday Bowl when you know
part of that was because of the part of that changed because of the Fiesta Bowl shenanigans where was his name something Jurgen?
John Junker.
Yeah, Junker. Yeah, gets is he
super
still in
nice
jail?
Guy. Super nice guy.
Well, when you're committing fraud, you tend to be nice.
You're just taking.
He got put in jail for it.
No.
Okay, I'm looking this up. Let's be factual here.
Yeah, because you're just smearing everybody. Everybody who walks.
He got 8 months. Okay, he got 8 months. Here's the headline. Ex-Fiesta Bowl chief headed to prison. Man, I remember. I've talked to Mark Asher about that because remember back in the day, like they were having Asher, Gambo, and Ash go to SEC championship games and paying all their dime and everything and all of that stuff. And I've talked about it. I remember like he's looked at me and been like, zero clue anything bad was happening.
Yeah.
No clue at all. We just thought we were being included, but it was all part of the gimmick and everything as well. So let's see here. He's the only one. He's the only person to face time that got time behind bars, and it was a scandal and it jeopardized the Bowl's NCAA license, meaning the Fiesta Bowl, and even its status there as well. So I'm trying. It was a reimbursement scheme, so it wasn't fraud. Illegal campaign contribution scheme is how they phrased it. So I was incorrect when I said fraud.
Yeah.
But now you can't sue me because I've corrected the record.
You're just throwing everybody under the bus.
Well,
Poor Joe.
Poor Joe. Why don't you drive down there? Why don't you drive down? Bruce Cooper just responded to you on your phone, by the way.
Oh,
He
did he?
text
Just
last
wake
night.
up? Did he
Yeah.
just wake up?
It's
from his
9:30
slumber?
and he just woke up because I just saw him
Wow.
respond. I don't know what he said, but I saw it pop up here as well. But yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I'll hit 2 bowl games up this year. They won't invite me again, by the way. But your Cardinals, Dale. Well, first of all, was it a clever response or what? Dale texted me and Bruce Cooper last night about ASU and Sam Levitt not showing up, and he goes 5-7 again. Welcome back to 5-7.
It was at 9:15.
I was passed out.
9:15.
I was passed out.
It was to the Chris Cartman post saying Sam Levitt was the lone captain not at ASU's banquet tonight for several people. In the audience, each captain was up on stage individually, and my text was, and back to 5-7. Fun year and a half, though. Coop, I hope you and I are still alive for their next run.
His response, LOL. It took him 12 hours to come up with that response, Dale.
He's probably sitting there having his oatmeal and prunes and silk pajamas.
I have reached out to him before, and like a week later, he's like, hey, sorry, I just checked my phone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah. Life of
I
luxury.
know, retirement as well for him. He's going to join us tomorrow, of course, coming up as well. We'll talk some ASU basketball tomorrow. Of course, they won against Oklahoma in that Jerry Colangelo Classic on Friday. Arizona beat Auburn, 20th ranked Auburn, dominated them down there in Tucson as well on Saturday, Saturday night.
Good.
I mean, I get it. You're not going to knock Purdue off the number 1 spot until they lose. But I don't know how Arizona's got to be. I watch a lot of college basketball, and Arizona, if they're not the number 1 team in the country, you'd have to sell me on who is the number 1 team in the country. It is they are dominant on multiple phases from that. But Bobby Hurley gets the win against Oklahoma. He did something interesting you've never seen before. I've never seen before. One, they failed to put the lineup in on time. And he goes, after the game, he says, oh, sorry, we'll make sure that doesn't happen again. You do that before every game. And all of a sudden, this one you forget.
He's been coached for 10 years here?
Yeah, and he's like, oh, yeah, we forgot about that. It slipped through the cracks. What? But number 2, the team wasn't playing well. He subbed every starter out early in that game, like 5 minutes into the game. And then that's when they went on the huge run to break it open early there against Oklahoma. Hey, we're seeing some good coaching from Bobby Hurley to start this season. Now we'll have to wait and see what the Big 12 schedule goes. And we got to give a shout out to Molly Miller. 10-0 for the women's ASU basketball team. If you're not following that, 10-0.
Nice start. Came over from Grand Canyon where she had some success.
And they're struggling a little bit over there. Mountain West turns out to be tougher than they were anticipating. Who would have thought? Not playing Tarleton State is going to be tougher out there as well. But so we'll talk more about that with Coop tomorrow. And Cardinals. What else is there to say about your Arizona Cardinals? So I have a new word for them. Yesterday during the game, I tweeted it out, and it's prevalent today. The more I think about it, and that
by the way, probably the reason you were so tired yesterday is you were very active on Twitter yesterday.
I watched the game at home. I did not go to the game. Me and everybody else didn't go to the game.
You made all that money?
Didn't. I lost money if you want to count it. I just wasn't willing to chase more money after bad by traveling across town and doing all that and everything. But no, I knew it was going to be a blowout, and I had no interest in watching another blowout. But the team quit yesterday on coaching staff, specifically the defense quit yesterday. QU, however you spell the rest of it, quit. yesterday.
QU.
Yeah, and then how do you spell the rest of it? IT.
Oh,
QUIT.
I thought that you were talking about a certain player.
No. I forgot. No, the whole defense
Yeah.
just quit. They quit playing yesterday, and they quit playing early in this game.
Well, it was 10-10 in the
I know.
second quarter.
To the point where, who was the analyst yesterday? It wasn't the normal.
It was Jonathan Vilma.
Oh, is that who it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's not Daryl Johnson.
No.
And we're to the point where in that second half, he was like, that defensive line's not even trying. They're just getting dominated down there.
Right.
And he's ripping them. And it's just like, that's not good that another guy sees that and is saying aloud. That was after I said they had quit as well. Now, some of the offensive guys, right, they had that touchdown drive that they had late there. They threw several passes, right, to make it 45-17. Bam Knight caught some big passes on that play. Trey McBride caught some big play. Some kid named Brooks caught a pass on that play. As well. Sherfield caught a long pass, a big pass on that play as well. Then, of course, Wilson got that TD at the end there.
Andre Bocelli, the good the tenor, the good singer.
Anytime he catches it, I hear, oh! This team quit. This is the first signs of a team quitting. And I would argue even more, this team quit before the game with how many people they're now resting and putting an injury prone in their injury list. They're just like, all right, we're just not going to play guys anymore. We're gonna see what our young guys are or whatever. And they're not even trying anymore, folks. Don't go to the last home game against the Falcons. This team the U-Hauls are backed up, and this team's done, man. Done.
Why would you leave Arizona in January?
Because you play for the Cardinals, you want to get the heck out of here. Yeah, it's embarrassing. That's easy. Here's where I determined not just the players, but also the coaching staff. Right? Are you ready for this? I don't even want to deal with this. Here's how the drives went for the Cardinals and the Rams in the first and second quarter, folks. You ready for this, Dale?
Yeah. Well, the Cardinals come out of the gates.
67-yard touchdown, 7 plays, beautiful play drive, best they've looked all season on offense. 100% correct. 7-0, touchdown. Then their defense gave up a lot of yards, didn't look great, but they were able to hold the Rams to a field goal, 11 plays, 60 yards, Rams field goal, 7-3. Then
things changed.
Rams got the ball back right away. Like, Cardinals don't even get the ball back. And they go down and score 7 plays, 74 yards to make it 10-7. And I'm being facetious there because the Cardinals, punted on 8 plays, 14 yards after that. So I'm being facetious. They didn't have the ball in the first quarter. Then the Rams go down 7 plays, 74 yards to make it 10-7 touchdown for them. And that's the first quarter. And you have to keep up. Then the Cardinals get the ball and they go 15 plays, 72 yards, kick a field goal. And in that moment, I went, you're going to get blown out in this game because you have to score touchdowns.
You did not say that. It was 10-10.
You have to score touchdowns to keep up with the Rams. Field goals are not keeping you in this game. And I've said that at that point. Rams go 12 plays, 75 yards and score a touchdown, 17-10. Have you noticed the yardage I'm giving here on the Rams' offensive drives, folks?
You mean it's not quick turnaround, turnover drives, 2 plays, 10 yards?
No. But this is the bad part, right? Then the Cardinals get the ball back, down 17-10. Pivotal moment in this game. Rams just went 12 plays, 75 yards.
Defense is probably a little tired.
Yes, and this is my point. I'm using the word quit for this defense. I think the defense is just tired. They're out there for too long.
Yeah.
The Cardinals get the ball. Pivotal drive where you can help your defense out. You're only down by 7. 5 plays. 5 plays, folks. 0 yards. Minute 5 off the clock.
That's kind of hard to do.
Hey, I don't even know how it's possible.
5 plays, 0 yards.
You look here. Rams kick it off, right, for that. 0-yard run. 0-yard pass. Pass incomplete, punt. That's where you get 5 there with the kickoff. 0-yard run, 0-yard pass. Minute 5, your defense has already been on the field. I told you, 5 minutes, 47 seconds on a 75-yard drive. 3 minutes, 26 seconds on a 74-yard drive. 4 minutes, 25 seconds on a 11-play, 60-yard drive in the first half. Your offense goes out there and picks up 0 yards on that drive. Take a minute 5 off the clock. Right before the halftime, the Rams then turn around and go 10 plays, 97 yards against your defense in a minute 30.
That's pretty quick.
To go 24-10. That's what we call no resistance, Dale. It gets worse, though. Then the Cardinals missed the field goal to go in at halftime, right? 8 plays, 20 yards, 12 seconds.
Mr. Ryland.
Missed the field goal. That was a 63-yarder, though.
They had the roof open, so it's probably a little chilly in there.
Kept the ball from flying.
The wind complicated it.
I mean, what do you expect a defense to do when you're on the field that much, getting your butt kicked and things to that effect, right? Here's what. So you're starting to wobble there, right? You're a prize fighter starting to wobble. Do you know the Cardinals gave up 2 plays, 2 touchdowns on consecutive plays? 2 one-play drives for the Rams. 2 one-play drives for touchdowns.
Well,
when's the last time you saw that?
Well, the one. Okay, first of all, we bypassed a few things.
Well, I'm skipping ahead because it doesn't get better in the second half. Dale.
But in that first half, there's a guy with the number 12 on his jersey, Puka Nacua.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he stands out on film.
Maybe you double cover him. I don't know, and maybe that doesn't do anything.
I'll go so far as to say you trip him. You do some illegal stuff at the line.
Because
you grab him, you throw him down, and maybe the refs won't throw a penalty flag because otherwise he's obviously scoring a touchdown against you.
Puka Nacua, he's 6'2", 212. Do you know what round he was drafted in, Steve?
It was the 5th round.
He was the 177th pick.
What round is that?
5th round.
Oh, okay, yeah.
5th round.
I couldn't remember if it was 5th or 6th.
But the thing, here's where I will agree with you. Again, I've told people I've been on really, really good teams. I've been on a couple real bad teams.
But was your Bills team as bad as this Cardinals team?
The 2-14 year, yeah.
Oh, really?
And let me tell you, when you kind of know that guys are mailing it in.
Okay.
Couple of those runs, that one touchdown run when they had those one-play drives.
Yeah. One was after an interception. And
Steve,
one was,
you and I would have gained 7 to 8 yards.
No, nobody touched them.
Nobody in the front 7 was even in their zip code.
That is when the analyst was saying, you got to dial up a blitz or something.
We got to do and about the time Jonathan Vilm was talking about them quitting, and again, in my mind, other than spitting on a guy in athletic competition, to tell another human athlete you quit, that's one of the most terrible things you can tell.
Especially in this environment where you're a gladiator, you work your butt off. It's all about moving another man and all of that stuff. And to get told you quit, and quitting, I think it's the worst thing you can do.
I told you earlier in the season that when we were talking about that defense line, Calais Campbell, he ended up with 4 tackles yesterday. He's worn down.
Yeah.
He's now 2 steps away. A little bit earlier, he's 1 step away. The first 3 games, he was making tackles.
But it's also hard for a guy like Calais Campbell to make plays when all 4 defensive linemen are being stood up at the line and giant holes in the middle of it. And because blockers are downfield blocking guys because, it's too easy to get in it. Now the defensive, like I said, defensive, you might not want to blitz because guys are tired. They know what is going on. Guys are injured, of course, stuff to that effect. So I'm willing to give the defense a little bit of grace because I just gave you the first half for that defense.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of it, you've been in this situation how many times over the last several weeks? You're just tired and worn down. There's only so much you can expect them to do. But at the same time, this team's quitting on this coaching staff. And that's how you get I dare I say it, we need this team to quit on the coaching staff because that's the only way they're changing. Only way they're changing head coach.
Well,
Yeah.
you look at it, the Rams, and I didn't even notice this yesterday. They had 530 total yards.
Yeah.
530, Steve.
Yeah, I know.
In an NFL
and it was
game.
balanced too. This is the stat that drives me nuts. Read their rushing yards and their passing yards if you have it up.
Yeah,
there.
well,
Not I have it.
passing's 281, rushing's 249.
And they had a 40 what was the lead? They had a 30-point lead
Yeah.
at one point. And they're
You
still
know they're
balanced.
handing the ball off.
And they're still balanced.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals, what they have halftime was 8 carries, 27 yards. Jacoby Brissett was your leading rusher at halftime. They had 8 carries, 27 yards, something ridiculous like that.
And then you look at the time of possession, and it's basically 11 minutes more for the Rams.
Yeah.
34 minutes, 4 seconds to 24 minutes, 56 seconds for the Cardinals.
The total rushing after the game, 14 carries, 51 yards. Jacoby Brissett was your leading rusher.
Yeah, I don't think you want him to be your leading rusher, do you?
4 attempts, 22 yards. Oh, my God. At the end of the half when they ran it up the middle, was that 3rd and 1? They ran up the middle to try to get that 60, and Jacoby got up hobbling. And I was like, you literally just hurt your quarterback trying to pick up 4 yards to make
And
it.
did you see what happened to him?
Yeah, Paris Johnson took him out.
They stepped on him with cleats.
You know what? Hey, I'm just gonna say on this. So if your foot gets stepped on with cleats, you can come back and play, and you don't go on IR for the rest of the season. You take a ball off your face, foot's injured, you're out for the season. So thank God he stepped on his foot. He didn't take a ball to the face.
Yeah, we didn't even touch on the fact that very quietly over the weekend they said that Kyler Murray's foot's not responding. He's out for the year.
Did you see Kyler Murray's Instagram post or whatever?
No,
Where he
no.
put it out there and he goes, rough year, said something like tough year. And he goes, I'll make sure this doesn't happen again.
It's happened before, though.
Yeah, but he hasn't been told he's not coming back before as well. So, and stuff like that. It's just utterly this game.
Give me one positive thing, Steve. What's the one
okay.
positive? One positive
This
thing?
is a positive, but it's a negative also. Wilson is your number one receiver on this team besides wide receiver, besides Trey McBride, who's a tight end.
Yeah.
Number one guy. Last week, Marvin Harrison Jr. comes back. Wilson's nowhere to be found.
I will agree with
Sit
you.
Marvin Harrison Jr. if they can't play well together. You
And
have
why
a
can't they?
better guy. You would have to explain that to me more than me. You think adding Marvin Harrison Jr. into the lineup, you'd still look at Wilson. That tells you Wilson's still the number 2 and number 3 target on the team, and Marvin Harrison Jr. comes back. That's what that tells you, Dale. And that's what? Coaching and diagram of offense. Wilson is your number 1 guy. Period. End of story.
Which means that
And they
you
don't
would
want to
think
do it.
when Harrison comes back, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I know Wilson's the most dangerous guy out there. Obviously, Trey McBride's the tight end.
We're talking receivers, not
Yes.
the tight ends, yes.
But if I'm kicking coverage one way or another, am I deciding on Harrison or Wilson? I'm kicking coverage to Wilson.
But why? They don't look at him when Marvin Harrison Jr. is out there.
But that
By the way,
tells me
that's what Tampa did. That's why Jacoby threw that bad interception at the beginning, was he was trying to force it to Wilson, who had 3 guys on him. Marvin Harrison Jr. had 1 guy on him.
But that,
doing it.
in my mind, it's like in basketball where you have a superstar and they're all double teaming them. Somebody's open.
Yes.
You got to hit the open shot. Well, Michael Wilson has shown enough to our defense coordinators are going to cheat the safety to his side.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try and double team him. That means Harrison is working on 1 guy,
Yes.
to which he should be open against 1 guy.
Yeah. And he's going to make the catch. Unlike Marvin Harrison Jr., he's going to make the catch. So it's a positive. You found your number 1 receiver moving forward, and it's Wilson. Period. End of story. But then it's negative because the Cardinals, when Marvin Harrison Jr. is out, Field Yates, national guys yesterday were making a point out there that without Marvin Harrison Jr. on the field, Wilson's freaking Jerry Rice out there. They're literally
He's a Pro Bowl receiver.
Yeah, but Marvin Harrison Jr. steps, and it tells you the offensive coordinator isn't changing his game plan and his routes and all that stuff to feature the number 1 guy. And it's infuriating to see. That's one part. But the Wilson McBride Even Jacoby combination is huge. It's amazing. If you can't figure out how to exploit this to get points on the board, that means you're not good. Drew Penzing. I'm sorry. It just means you aren't the guy right now from that side. You want to, I have some stats here. This is what gets coaching staffs fired, folks. I'm going to give you this stat, and then we're going to go to Jonathan Gannon in his press conference.
Oh, you're really going to end the show on him.
Right. Oh, no, I'm going to end the show with even more.
And by the way,
controversial
Paris
call.
Johnson went down with a knee injury. Yeah. Is that season ending?
It's going to be.
You know?
Even if it's not, it's going to be.
What one was it? The left guard was sat for personal reasons.
Yeah. But I don't quote me on it, because he said before is they're having a baby around the new year.
Oh, okay.
So right. don't read into that too much.
Well, I saw
we don't know.
I saw one report say disciplinary reasons.
Oh, did you? I didn't see that.
Saw one.
Okay.
I'm not jumping out there, but
I didn't see that.
He didn't play yesterday.
No, but so that's why I said be careful on that.
No.
I did not see that one. If that's the case, then I might want to pay attention to it. But I know he put out on Instagram or whatever earlier in the season that him and his wife were expecting a baby around New Year's. It's a little early for that baby to be coming, so maybe there's. I'm spitballing on what I know. From social media.
Two things. Number one.
Now, if it is what you're saying, what you said you saw,
I just saw
that's
something on Twitter.
Something different. But I'm willing to wait to hear.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But the thing is, if he said there's a baby coming around New Year's, and the baby is coming this early, there's complications,
8th,
whatever.
There's issues, yeah.
I always thought, because I have two daughters, Hillary and Kendall. They're both born in February, thank God. Because back in the 80s and 90s,
you don't miss games.
Your wife's giving birth on her own if it's on a Saturday night, Sunday.
I saw somebody the other day, some football player, that's like, my wife's been through it before. She'll be all right. Because they're having a baby and he's got games. I saw that the other day.
That's just your thought process.
Yeah.
You're not leaving the team to go sit in the hospital.
I mean, yeah, that's all you're doing. We're going to get in trouble on this one now. Yeah. Robert says at Team Esports Show, the positive is there's only 4 games left. The negative is there's 4 games left. I'm not kidding you. You've got to root for blowouts and this team quitting to have a chance for getting to go. In their last 3 games against NFC West opponents, their division, they've given up 44, 41, and 45 points to their division guys as well. It just goes back to my thing. You have to compete in your division before you can compete anywhere else. And they've been unable to even be competitive in their division moving forward from that. I will say this, because we watched it on TV yesterday. Even Autumn caught that as well. Because I've been noticing the last couple of games, Gannon's been moving a little bit more. The statue is a movement, folks. Now, he's still not arguing with people or talking to people, stuff like that. He's just moving from one side to another at that point. But even Autumn noticed that yesterday. She goes, man, Jonathan Gannon listens to your show. And I go, well, of course he does. And she goes, yeah, he's moving a lot more.
Maybe his lower back's a little tight.
Well, it's tough standing there. You stood with your arms crossed for a long time.
I can't stand like this for 3 hours.
Yeah, well, maybe that's it. Maybe as time goes on, it's bothering him. Hey, Jonathan Gannon opens his press conference after the game. Oh, let's just have some entertainment here, folks. Hey, Jonathan Gannon, tell us about this Rams game.
Give credit to LA. They were better than us in every facet of the game today, coaching, playing, offense, defense, special teams. So that's very humbling. I think at one point in the game it was like 10-10, and then you look up and you're down a lot of points quick. So give them credit. It's not okay. It's not acceptable by me, by any of us in there, and we'll get back to work tomorrow.
2 things, Dale. 1, it is acceptable to you, Coach Gannon. You want to know why it's acceptable? Because it's been happening a lot this year. You've made it acceptable that it happens. Because you know what? Remember last year when the Rams got destroyed by the Cardinals at the beginning of the season?
Yeah.
Sean McVay, it wasn't acceptable to him that happened, and then they went on a run for the rest of the year. When it keeps happening, it's acceptable that it keeps happening. 1. Number 2, every week he says, we're going to get back to work tomorrow. We're going to get back to work tomorrow. And I put this out on Twitter, and I'm being serious here. Just hear me out. Just hear me out, Jonathan Gannon. Just take the week off, buddy. Just nobody go to the facility. Just let the players do what they want. Just go shopping for the wives. Go to San Diego and relax. Whole coaching staff. Let's try that because your working is getting worse. Whatever you are working on and whatever you are touching right now is getting worse. Stop working. Stop working the same way. Move on.
Therein lies the key. When you just say I'm working, and I've told you this before, in Buffalo, we worked longer and harder when we were 2 and 14.
Yeah, 14-hour days, right? Something like that?
Than we ever did when we were winning Super Bowls in Dallas.
Yeah.
So just to say we get back to work, well, what's the one thing? The one thing that gave me optimism coming into the season is they didn't have enough talent to compete against the elite the last 2 years, but they were competitive in every game. Every game they had a quote unquote chance going into the fourth quarter.
Well, yeah, they had the ball late to win it, and they didn't do it, or they gave up a play late, something to that.
You could tell that they were fighting their tails off.
Yeah. That mattered to them.
And something has happened this year, a little bit like the Suns last year, to where the body language sucks.
Yep.
Nothing changes from week to week. Like the Rams played crappy last week.
Well, they played well, but they gave up at the end, and they didn't play hard.
Well, they had 4 turnovers or whatever.
Yeah,
but
and look how they played yesterday.
That's not happening 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, no, it's not acceptable how they played last week in Carolina.
Right.
And Jonathan Gannon, again, this isn't acceptable. You've made it acceptable. You know how you would show it's not acceptable? Who's getting cut? Who's getting benched? Who's getting moved around? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? And I get it. They have a ton of injuries and they're moving guys around and stuff like that. But it's just, we're tired. We're tired. It's the Torey Lovello effect where every game it's the same story, same everything. It's bad to listen to. It's terrible to listen to. And I've abandoned my they don't know how to fix it thing. They don't know how to fix it, first of all. But my point here is they don't want to fix it. Because if I was a head coach, Dale, I'm just going to go out on a limb here. If I was a head coach and my team was struggling and the owner said you're not bringing any other coaches in to help you out, I'm calling buddies of mine. He's got buddies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling buddies of mine that are out of work right now. Hey, can I fly you in? I make enough money. Can I fly you in? Can you spend a few days with us on our film, help us out here and everything? I'll pay. I'll take you to a nice steak 44 dinner. Maybe we'll run into Bruce Cooper and Dale Hellestrey there. Maybe they can help us with our offensive line blocking. You're willing to do anything to try to improve it, even if it costs you a couple shackles, right, to do it. They're doing nothing. On face, they're doing nothing. But we're just going to work again tomorrow. Hi ho, hi ho. It's off to work we go. It needs to stop it. Hey, JG has a message. Okay, before I do this, Pete Carroll yesterday in the Raiders season is god-awful, terrible, and all of that stuff also. Pete Carroll left yesterday, goes in front of the media, and they talk about the fans, and he goes, I'm going to paraphrase here, and he goes, look, we really need the fans to back us right now in this time, because we're going to turn it around, and it would be nice if the fans were backing us now, so when we turn it around, they're still here for the turnaround. He phrased it that way. And I almost became a Raiders fan. Because I was like, Pete Carroll's got the right attitude on this. Yeah, Pete Carroll, even, I think his exact words were, I can't blame him for not supporting us right now. Jonathan Gannon yesterday, when asked about his message to the fans, I heard a big pop. Is Kobe alive back there?
To give them any kind of hope.
Yeah, we'll come out the other side. We will. I know that.
Oh, boy. Let's all line up behind Jonathan Gannon. It's all solved, folks. He knows it. What inspiration. Oh, get on board, folks. Woo, woo.
Steve, you can buy another 4 seats. You want 8 for next year?
Let's get lined up, folks. Let's get behind that motivation. Jonathan Gannon knows we're going to come out the other side, Dale.
I sent my brother a text last night, too. Said, hey, can I be there when you write that check on December 13th to pay for your season tickets next year? How does that one taste?
The amount of people on the post-game show, because we left. I had to go pick up my groceries from Fry's, so we left. I was listening to the post-game stuff in my car, and the amount of people that were like, you send me, some people were 30, some people were 40, you send me a price increase and tell me it's due during this stretch of football.
Right.
They're like, we're not doing this.
No, you ask like in March when people have forgotten about the
old
season.
way. That's the old way it used to be that you would.
So
do
my
that.
text to my brother was, wow, that sure was an exciting game. Can I watch you hand over another couple grand to Bidwell?
Well, that's the sad part. Your brother only does a couple grand. I do way more than that, unfortunately. Here's Pete Carroll's exact phrasing. We're going to need the fans to support us. I know we've got to give them something to cheer about. I'm not faulting them to be here when it turns so they can be a part of it. That's how you handle that. Instead of going, I know it's going to be turned around.
We're coming out the other end, Steve.
We don't have faith in you,
hey,
Jonathan Gannon. We don't believe in you, Jonathan. I almost was like, Pete Carroll, I'm going to be a Raiders fan. Pete Carroll's going to turn this around.
Steve, have you ever thought about this? Maybe Gannon is telling the truth. You're going to come out the other end of that tunnel with the train track, and there's another train coming at you.
There's a train about to hit you. The other thing I got here to wrap up this show really quick is, what's a catch, Dale? Explain a catch, Dale.
Yeah, they that's one thing that NFL for about a decade now is really messed up.
And it's even worse last year. Okay, I get the rule. You catch the ball, you got to make a football move. But in the end zone, they give them some grace, right? If you missed it, Pittsburgh, Ravens are in trouble. Ravens are in trouble. Colts are in definite trouble with Daniel Jones tearing his Achilles yesterday. If you missed a play.
And there's a team that dresses in red that's in trouble, too.
The Chiefs. Well, I consider them out of the playoffs for the last several weeks. I don't.
Not you.
You just haven't put a fork in them yet. Here's Likely making a touchdown pass. He's going to be a free agent tight end, by the way, this year because they signed Mark Andrews to a contract extension. Here's Likely catching a football yesterday. Oh, I don't know, an important part of the game, Dale. Let's check this play out.
That will stand. That is definitely a touchdown. Lamar Jackson looked this off. Reset his feet.
Had to be for a flicker of a second, a nightmare for Likely.
Yeah.
After last week.
It was.
Enough of this.
They're showing you multiple angles of
Around the
this.
goal line, but it's a touchdown.
It's close enough to keep looking at, though.
Gets 2 feet down, has the ball extended away from the defender, and the defender gets to it eventually and does that stuff. And they overturned it. It wasn't a touchdown. I get the idea of the rule and the major part of the thing. How many times have you seen a guy catch a football in the end zone, both feet down, and then drop the ball and celebrate? The defender has how much time to strip a ball that is firmly caught away from a body, and he keeps it out there to keep it away from him. If he would have brought that in, it could have been knocked out even sooner.
It's weird because I read about that. I did not actually see it.
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of controversy about it and all that.
Well, the league says the third foot didn't get down before the ball came out.
Third foot now. I thought it was 2 feet. I thought it was
This is my point.
2 step.
What football move do you make in an end zone? You catch the ball, you get both feet down, and you if you're falling to the ground, you have to survive the ground and stuff to that effect. But what football move is he supposed to juke somebody? Now we're down to a third foot.
But tell me this.
Third foot.
What happens if he took those 2 steps and he got hit, fell down, and the ball came loose?
You have to survive the ground. That rule's always been.
Right. What I'm saying is, first, to me, that catch looks super awkward. Because he never gets it into his body.
Yeah, but the ball doesn't move. He's got a full grasp of it with the defender hanging all over him.
I think the NFL's complicated.
They're complicating it.
A catch should be
That's my
when
point.
you're playing with your buddies out on the street. If I give you a catch, it's a catch.
Yeah. I mean, even Tony Romo and them are like, that's a catch.
Oh, they had
That's a
already
catch.
moved. They'd already moved
Yeah.
on.
And it's just, if it looks like a catch, it's a freaking catch. It's not that hard, man.
Looks like a catch, smells like a catch. It's a catch.
And then they complicate it because they go, well, he didn't get his third foot down. And, well, his third foot was almost on the ground. Well, it didn't hit the ground, though, in that moment. What? So if he would have jumped, if he would have got 2 feet down and then jumped and dove, is that a football move? It's just, why are we complicating this stuff? It's embarrassing what we're doing out there. And then you can get into the Bears and that fiasco yesterday. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow. Bruce Cooper's joining us tomorrow as well. Don't forget, like, subscribe to the YouTube page. Of course, the podcast system as well. At TME Sports Show, 623-252-6670.
Suns play tonight. Dylan Brooks questionable.
Yeah, don't play him. If he's that hurt with a Achilles strain.
Oh, okay. I just saw he's questionable.
No, do not play him with an
No.
Achilles. Let that sucker
We just
heal.
saw Daniel Jones.
I know Daniel, and he just had a broken fibula in playing with that. Booker's definitely out tonight on that. It's going to be a long night, Suns fans. Take a deep breath in this game tonight. They're going to struggle. They're going to, and they got that. It's a good team, too.
Congratulations, Jeff Kent.
We're the only ones celebrating Jeff Kent getting in. Major League Baseball doesn't even care. McCollum on Business coming up at 11. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. See ya.